Hey.
Come on.
What's up, people?
Hey, we live.
We live. Yo, what up,
Let's
everybody?
go.
Y'all know what it is. iBall Live. Hey, man, I just want to say welcome
Yep.
to another episode of the iBall Radio Live Call-In Show. I'm your host, Derek Williams, also known as D-Will, the coach, and I'm in the building with my people, Lance from Huntsville, Breezy in the building on the ones and twos. What's happening, everybody?
You know what's good.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Tell a friend that the iBall Radio is live. We are on location right now in different places. As y'all can see, we are in the midst. I'm going to be transparent with everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're in the midst of some transition. All right? We're in the midst of some transition. It's an elevation happening right now for iBall Radio, man. So we're all in different locations as of right now, man. But we want to tell y'all welcome, man, to another episode. We got something special going on tonight, man. Tonight on tonight's show, we will have first time state champion head coach from Oxford High School, Joel Van Meter, will be on with us tonight at 7:30 to talk about the Oxford Yellow Jackets bringing home their first ever state championship in the state of Alabama, man. So I'm excited about that, man. That's good. That's right, Lance. Live hand claps, man. Live hand claps. We will have Coach Van Meter on with us around 7:30. But that's not it. That's not it. At 8 o'clock, right after Van Meter, at 8 p.m., we will have on first time state champion head coach Demetrius Miller of Hazel Green High School from the Hazel Green Girls Program. That's right, man. Tonight is an all 6A show. Tonight is an all 6A show, man, as we will have the two state championship head coaches from class of 6A, Coach Joel Van Meter and Coach Demetrius Miller, will be on tonight to join the iBall Radio. Hey, listen, we first to have them on to the show, man. But with that being said, Lance, what's good, brother?
Hey, all is good. It's storming really bad up here in Huntsville tonight, but we're hanging it. Hey, the power's on, so we're here.
Hey, man, same thing here, man. It's going down outside where I am, man, here in Calera, and it is coming down. And Breezy, what about you in the Gump? What it look like in the Gump?
Man, it's dry down here.
It's
coming, though. It's going to be here by 9.
Yeah, it's coming. See, it got Lance first. It got me second, and it's coming down to Breezy third, man. But
I'm last on the list.
Yeah, you last on the list, man. But shout out to everybody. But man, let's start this show off talking about something that's really important, bro. This week in the state of Alabama, as y'all all know, man, we had state championships this week. A hugely successful week, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great basketball play, bro. Great basketball play. But we're going to talk about some stuff in this show before we bring on Coach Van Meter and Coach Miller. We're going to talk about some stuff going forward about next year, right? Next year will be completely different when it comes to what this state of Alabama would look like for the playoffs. What we saw this year will not be what we saw. What we see next year will not be what we saw this year, man. And in my opinion, it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. But before I say that, before I go to y'all, shout out to the chat, man. What up, chat? What up, chat, man? Tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. iBall Radio is live. Coach Spooney said we're across the board. That's right, man. We're covering damn near the whole state of Alabama right now, man. We're going from the top to the middle to the little central. So all we need is I need to go call my boy Andre Epps, the brand new head coach, and shout out to him, man. The brand new head coach at Spanish Fort High School, man, down in Mobile, man. So live hand clap for him, man. Congratulations on his new job at Spanish Fort, man. So, I'm gonna go to you first, Lance, man. Tell me what your thoughts were about this week of state championship week last week here in the state of Alabama.
Well, I'll just start by this. You know, we had a busy season, a hugely successful season for iBall
We did.
Radio. From the media days to all the games of the week, to even stepping in the college game right even before. I mean, we were somewhere just about every night. And so to those teams that we didn't get to see a whole lot, don't hate us, right? Because
Right.
I mean, we're trying to catch up on NFHS and all that type of thing. And so if we saw you in person or happen to catch a little bit here and there, I mean, we only have so many hours in the day with our phones ringing and everything. It was hard to see everybody, but I love seeing the teams that maybe I didn't know a whole lot about because I had only maybe caught them once or twice. Like let's go back to when I was dogging on Dothan a little bit. My perception was the times that I saw them play, they didn't play very well. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I was dogging on them a little bit. Now they made a little bit of a run there at the end. Um,
Right.
and then some other teams, and kudos to Tuscaloosa County. I loved all the fresh faces that were down there, and people that, like you said, first time champions. That's a big deal.
Facts, man. No doubt
Hey,
about it,
big
man.
facts.
Shout out to them, man. I'm gonna tell you this though. I gotta say this. Before I get into it, Coach Spoonie, I'm still waiting on my Bama Celtics gear, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Extra large.
hey, large. Give me a large, man. We'll put it on, bro. Oh, hey, do me a favor real quick. Pause. You hear me that my Scully? So, but yeah, so I gotta say, Hudson Athletic in the building. What up?
What up? What up?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Hudson Athletic said, we love what y'all do. Keep doing what y'all do. We will, man. Appreciate that love, man. Shout out to our folk.
Yeah, man.
Hudson
Appreciate that.
Athletics for sure, man. That's family right there.
We got something big in the works.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I got to give some special shots out before we step into the week, man. We got some stuff to talk about. I'm glad Lance brought up a little recap of our season. It was very successful, but I got to give some shout outs. First shout out goes to my man. Oh, you didn't bring a t-shirt. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Bo Starkey of Average Joe Sports.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Bo Stark of Average Joe Sports, man. Listen, when you talk about somebody who represents the state of Alabama, y'all know we only basketball. We focus on high school basketball, college basketball.
Right.
Bo does and Average Joe, they do all sports, man.
Everything.
So I gotta give a shout out to him. And by doing that, I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this. Because it's worth it. I gotta give my man a huge shout out. Hold on.
Y'all wore mine the other day. It's dirty.
Look, check it out, man. I gotta put it on the screen, man. I hope y'all can see that very well. Shout out to my boy, my guy, Average Joe, man, hooking us up with the gear, bro. I appreciate that. Let me get that so you can see it. Hopefully y'all can see that real clear. But shout out to our guy. And also my partner. This is another piece of family. My guy, y'all see what I got. Let me put that on, bro. Y'all see who I'm repping. Y'all see who I'm
Two
repping.
live. Okay.
Shout out my guy, Two Live Q, man. Shout out my guy, Two Live Q, man. That's family right there also, man. So I got to give a shout out to them. Also, man, I got to shout out Brick Boy TV, man. Shout out my boy Demetrius. Shout out to him. Shout out to my boy Courtside Bank, right? Shout out Courtside Bank. Shout out to Deidre Pike. Shout out to my man Thomas Ashworth, Josh Bean. I can go on and on and on, man, about the folks who did an incredible job of covering the state championships this past week, man, bringing you guys all that coverage, all that footage, man. I got to give a shout out to them, but a special shout out goes to my guy, Two Live Q, and my guy, Bo Stark at Average Joe Sports Talk, man. Like, got to give a shout out to them, man. They definitely deserve some kudos. And if I missed you, Tay 4K, shout out to him. It was
Lynn's
a lot
lady.
of y'all. EB Captures, shout out my guy, EB Captures. Junior Captures, he was out there doing his thing also, man. So shout out to everybody. I just got to be honest with you, bro. The coverage that was given this week to the Alabama high school state playoffs was tremendous, right? Like, it was, I got to give a shout out to us too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We did a shout out Breezy. Did an incredible job this week, bro. I gotta get Breezy. I know we ain't got the horns right now,
Yeah.
but bro, we hit 1.3 million views in the last 30 days. 1.3 million views in the last 30 days, man. Like I say, that deserves. Listen, I got average Joe was doing 1 million views a day.
Yeah, he racking them up.
Literally. He was doing 1 million a day. So shout out to them, man. Shout out my guy Tula Q. Shout out, hey man, appreciate the Scully, man.
Yeah, Q, I
Shout
need a
out to
black one,
Average
Q.
Joe. Shout out to Average Joe for the t-shirt, man. We definitely appreciate them because y'all know how passionate we are about high school basketball here in the state of Alabama, bro. So I got to give a special shout out to them, man, for being there 12, 13 hours a day. We
Yeah, them
all
long
sitting in there. Hey, and I got to give a shout out to my guy, Terry Drake, in that joint. 12, 13 hours a day, man, bringing you coverage. Dang, I'm sorry about that. Bringing you coverage of not only the players, but the games, the moments, the post-game press conferences, all of those things, man. Shout out to everybody who was there. And like I say, I know I got to calling names. Somebody said I missed somebody. If I miss you, I apologize. But gotta keep it honest, bro. Those guys, man, I saw them every single day. Like I say, we were there 9 a.m. and we were leaving that joint 10:30 at night. So I just got to give a special shout out to them for all the hard work that they did continuously throughout the week, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Kudos to y'all.
Yeah, man. Big ups.
No doubt about it, man. But let's jump into it, man.
Yes, sir.
All the state champions, man, across the board. It was a bunch. It was what? How many was it, Lance? It's 7 classifications, 2 champions each. So what's that? 14?
Yeah, 14.
Shout out to all 14 of the state champions, boys and girls. Throughout the
it's the last week, year of 7A, so there won't be 14 anymore.
Won't be 14 anymore. It's actually gonna be more.
Yeah, well, private schools.
Yeah, the private school joint, and that's what got me peed off. That's what got me mad, y'all. I am really upset that it won't look the same next year. I am not cool with the private school, public school split. I know we had a lot of time in the last month, a couple of months ago during the Choose Act when we were bringing you guys all that information, telling you to low down on that. A lot of people were asking me my opinion about it, right? And I never really gave it because y'all know I like to do my research. I don't talk about nothing unless I have the facts, right? Unless I know what I'm talking about. And now that I have the facts, I'm not happy about it. I'm not. I think it's a bad move for the state of Alabama. And I'm just speaking from basketball. Football people may feel completely different. I'm talking about from a basketball standpoint. I don't like it. And I think it's going to hurt the product of high school basketball here in the state. What says y'all?
How many of those I know Montgomery Academy, how many of the other teams were private schools that won this year?
St. James girls.
Yeah, St. James.
3A was ran by private schools.
Right.
1A boys and 1A girls was Brantley and Wintersboro. I think both of those are public.
Yeah.
2A was Section and North Sand Mountain. I think both of those are public. We just said 3A was ran by private. 4A was Fairfield. And who won 4A girls? Somebody help me in the chat. I forget who ran 4A girls. 5A boys was Winona public.
And Gunnersville.
6A was Oxford and Hazel Green. And 7A was Tuskegee. Yeah, so it was only 2, right? It was more last year.
So one of the arguments that I've heard, and I've tried to stay neutral and just look at the facts, right, and kind of where everybody feels about it, is they feel because of the if you win, you got to bump up, and we might only have 200 people in the school. All the different. I've heard all different sides. we could go back to like the old Indiana style with no classifications at all. Just everybody jump in there. Would that be equal? I don't know. But I see good and bad on both sides. Obviously we're looking at the basketball side of it a lot. Um, does it create a competitive advantage? I mean, it depends. We'll see how the choose act. And the money and all that stuff. How that's gonna. I think time will tell. Time will tell.
Right.
I think it's too early to tell how I feel about it, to be honest.
And the reason I say I don't like it is because I was present this year and saw what's going to be missing from it come next year, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough next year.
Like I just told y'all, we were in at 9 a.m. and we didn't leave at 10:30 at night sometimes, right? So we're gonna have to do that for 2 weeks straight, right? Are y'all gonna run private school 1 week, public school the next week? You can't run those simultaneous, because if you run them simultaneous, you're taking away coverage from one or the other, right?
And they might not even be in the same city, from what I've heard.
They might not even be in the same city, because I know they're not going to be able to book Legacy Arena out for 2 weeks straight, right? So they're going to have to find somewhere else to host the private school championships, right? And the level of competition. I had the privilege of calling the 1A girls and boys state championship. And was it the same as the 6A or 7A? No, it wasn't, right? The level of competition is different. But my thing is, what is the level of competition going to be like next year for the public and private schools? So that concerns me, because we won't be able to see everybody compete for the same title. And for those private schools that are saying, well, we never have an opportunity to win. Well, newsflash, you're not going to beat Montgomery Academy.
At
You're
all.
not going to beat Whitesburg Christian. You're
At
not
all.
going to beat those teams. You're going to get bludgeoned by those teams the same way you get bludgeoned by the public school teams. So it's not going to be, you're not, I won't say you're not, but it's a very good chance you're still not going to win, right? It's a very good chance you're still not going to win. So what are you really separating for? And we've had this conversation on here before, man. So I just think I'm highly disappointed that because being in the realm of the unknown, not knowing what it's going to look like, is not a comfortable place for somebody like us, a media outlet that covers the games and brings the information to the people. If we don't know, and we're the ones that brings the information to the people, how will they ever know?
Well, as we know, a lot of those decisions are 100% based off of football, and
True.
other factors. And so, I agree with you on the basketball side of things, but I think when they're looking at, uh, 100% football and maybe a couple other things that, are their special interest, I think that's where your answers lie.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And you said that special interest, bro. It's the special interest. It's what actually does the powers that be care about,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we all know they care about where the money comes from. You gotta follow the money.
Always.
And we understand that football, living in America, football is the number one sport. It generates all the revenue. Look at these high major programs. That revenue is generated from football, right? The NFL is the number one professional league in the country, right? So we get that. That generates a lot of funds. However, we love basketball.
Look at Thompson and Hoover that have won lots of state championships in football. Their facilities have benefited sport-wide just because of that.
Yep, immensely. We got a question. What up, Chris Chillin? Chris Chillin said, do you think they can play this public school, private school split this year to see how it is? No, because it has to go for 2 years.
Right.
So they're gonna play it this year, but they're gonna have to play it the next year because they can't make by the letter of the bylaws, they can't make a change within that 2-year window. So this
Right.
window will be for 2 years. So for at least 2 years, we're gonna have a public school and private school split, and I don't see them changing it at all after that.
And here's the thing, there seems to be a misunderstanding of this. They can play as many regular season games as they want.
Facts. We're talking
Madison
championships.
Academy, Randolph, Montgomery Academy, whoever your private school is, they can play anybody they want to, just like public school can play as many private schools as they want to. It's just the championships are divided.
That's it. And that's the biggest thing. Let's keep it
Yeah, that's the
real.
big one. That's the big boy.
Hey, everybody wants to play for a blue map. So now you telling me that private schools will no longer have a blue map? All right. Will that be the public school trophy and the private school? Because we know the AISA, they got a completely different trophy. They don't play for a blue map. All right. Like, people want that blue map. It is significant, right? Are we gonna be able to put the hats on? Right? Like, what is it going to look like? And just from my conversations with people and the research that I've done, I don't know anybody that I've met that is for it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I haven't met anybody that has said, "Yeah, this is a great idea. This is gonna be great." Haven't seen it yet, but we're getting ready, man. We're gonna have 6A state champion head Coach Joel Van Meter will be joining us very soon. He should be tapping in shortly.
Yeah, he's already
Uh,
here.
huh?
He's already here.
Okay, that's cool. Breezy got him. Breezy's gonna bring him up, man, and we're gonna welcome in Oxford head coach and first-time state champion, Coach Joel Van Meter, joining us right now here on the iBall Radio Live call-in show.
Coach, you ready? Okay. Yep, I see him. Coach.
And there he is, man. Live hand clap for our guy, Coach Joel Van Meter, and
Yes, sir.
first-time state champion, Oxford
Wow.
High School. Coach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I told somebody if I had wings, I would be up there above the clouds right now.
Hey, I can
bet.
totally understand that. Totally understandable. Coach, man, let's jump into it. This is the easy question, man. Just tell us, how does it feel a couple of days later, now it had a chance to sink in? Just tell us how it feels to be named the 6A state champion.
Well, the biggest thing, just rewarding, all the work that you put in for 16 years. And, I've tried to make sure that I said this, our school had never won a basketball state championship. So all the work that people before us had put in, you're talking about 80, 90, 70, 80, 90 years, man. I think 1933, we were in the state championship game and lost to Geraldine High School. And that's the only other championship game appearance. So, just rewarding for our school, our community, our players, obviously, but just unbelievable feeling.
So, Coach, you guys have been knocking on the door for years, right? You've been right there. Last year, y'all had what I would say was the best game of the whole high school season last year against Gaston City, but it came up short. Bringing this group now and completing that task and getting over the hump, what has been the reception now that you're back in Oxford around the community outside of the team and you guys? What has been the reception for you guys?
Well, just a lot of pride, man. We came back Saturday to a full gym, band playing. We were able to cut down our nets. The community was there. And then since then, going to school today, our guys were walking around school. I tried to tell them, you guys are legends now. So we're, tomorrow we'll be in front of the school board. Not next week because we're on spring break. The following week we'll be in front of the city council. We'll make all the stops and you just feel a lot of love from this community and the former players and, the school system just for what these kids accomplished.
So, Coach, tell me, man, tell us about this journey. We kind of briefly talked about it. You kind of said it in the post-game press conference, but just take us through this year. Let us know you guys came in the favorite, right? You came in, and a lot of people, us included, saying you guys were the best team in the state. And we know how hard it is to go from the beginning of the season to the end of the season and complete that task. Just talk about how it is to say, hey, we got over the hump, but how do you say that having that pressure and completing the task, how was that roller coaster of a ride all year long?
Well, we started out really well. I think I want to say we won our first 3 or 4 games. Had a huge win at Vestavia, beat Fairfield, beat Austin, and then we come up to Huntsville to the holiday hoops giving, and we played Gainesville, Georgia, and Cross Creek, Georgia, who obviously Gainesville gets beat in the state semifinals on the last second shot. That's their only loss of the season.
Yep.
And now Cross Creek is playing in the state championship. And we lose both of those games, but we led in both of them. And I think, and then we turned around and went to Corinth, Mississippi to the Lighthouse Classic and played Madison Ridgeland Academy that's got the Dampier kid. And they went 37-2 and won their state championship. So I think that 3-game stretch, our guys knew that there was a lot of talk that we were a favorite, that we were one of the best teams in the state. But I also think that those 3 losses helped us understand where we needed to get better and where we were falling short. And, it's kind of a smack in the face to us. Like, hey, if we want to be great, this is what we're going to have to do. And, our guys bought into it. They were all about it. And then we reeled off, I don't know how many in a row, and we lost in the Huntsville City Classic finals. And I don't want to take anything away from Christian because they played great that night. But we were also playing without a starter in Jalen Taylor, who had rolled his ankle. So, I think those 3 games against that high-level competition, it kind of showed us where we were. But it also told us, hey, we can play against great teams, and we've got a chance to win. So I think that was the huge turning point for us.
So before I turn it over to Lance and let him jump in, I got to ask you about Jalen Alexander, Coach. Like you say, you've been coaching him the last 6 years. Just talk about him as a player and what he's meant to you as a coach and what he's meant to that program.
Well, number one, he's like a son to me. I told his mom, we came out of the gym and she was right there, and I looked at her and I said, I don't get to coach him anymore. I said, and we won a state championship, and I'm sad because, I'm just so used to him being there. And I can't put into words, first of all, he's never had a bad practice. And when I say that, I mean, I honestly mean he's never had a bad practice. He's never been late to anything. He's the consummate leader by example. He's he's the hardest working kid, like works on his game, that I've coached. And, you put all those together, and then he's extremely talented. You get the product that he is. And, outside of that, he's an even better kid. I mean, he's an honor society student. He walks down the hall. He's never acted like he's this big time guy. He's humble. Teachers love him. Kids love him. I can't put it into words. Obviously I'm biased and I get it. I think no brainer, Mr. Basketball. And I know that, and I'm not taking anything away from any other player out there, like they're not good enough. I'm very biased, and I just understand how good he is to take a school. He's the leader, and to help take a school that's never won a state championship. And I think our classification is the hardest classification. And that Northeast region is a monster. And we were able to do what we were able to do with him leading us. I think it just speaks for itself.
Go ahead, Lance.
All right.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on what a season. Got to see play quite a bit, and just from the beginning to the end, how you were the leader of that. And thinking about you being a leader, years from now, the players that you had will talk about those lessons that you taught them. But you being who you are, I know that you probably have learned some things from them this season. What would you say that you've learned from your players?
Well, my baseball coach asked me this today. Like, I think some of the biggest things that I learned from them is you can only be so good if you're the leader. Your players have to be the leaders. Like, I for so long have tried to control a bunch of things on my team, and and I don't know why. I think it's just because as a coach, like, you're wanting to make sure that you put them in the best spot and you try to keep as much control as you can. But I think this year, we listen to music constantly during practice, which 10 years ago I would have never done that. Never. But here's the thing. We listen to music all the time during practice, and my guys practice so hard that obviously it shows in games. Um, there's a lot of other things. Like when we go on the road and let's say we go to Huntsville and we go somewhere and eat, we're eating like a college team. Like I'm treating like I tell them all the time, guys, like we're gonna treat you the best that we can treat you. I don't pick the restaurant; they pick it. Like y'all tell me what y'all want to eat, we'll go there, fellas. Just simple things like that I've learned. A lot of situations in the past, uh, like I was talking about it this morning. A guy might be late. Well, who is that guy and why is he late? Did he have a ride? Was he counting on somebody else for a ride? Where before I never thought about it. I didn't really care. I was just making my point that you were late. Well, what you learn is these kids, like a lot of times they might be counting on somebody else, and it's not like they're trying to be late on purpose. And what I've tried to do is do a much better job of having understanding of who my players are and what their situations are, and talking to them a lot more. We have a huddle every Wednesday morning that we talk about integrity, we talk about character, we talk about how to adapt, like just a bunch of different things. And I think that's the biggest thing that they taught me, that there's a lot more to coaching than drawing up some play on some board.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Big fact.
Yeah. So, Coach, we talked about Jalen, but you also got another Jalen, all right?
Yeah.
Jalen Taylor, who's headed to Memphis to play football, who for your team this year was the guy that was allowed Jalen Alexander to be who he is because he took on a lot of those defensive duties that allowed Jalen to be who he was offensively a lot of times. Just talk about how his contribution to the team and to the program this year.
Well, I think the first thing you got to say is this: is Jalen Taylor is signed to play football at the University of Memphis. He did not have to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But he loves us. He loves basketball. He loves his school. So he wanted to be a part of that. He wanted to help us win a state championship. And that's the first thing to know about him. Second of all, he's a winner. Like even in football, he's just a winner. Like he does whatever it takes to win. He's just determined as can be. But I mean, I've coached 27 years. I've never coached another guy who guards like he guards. I mean, I say this all the time. I feel sorry for whoever that other player is, the other team's best player, because he's just going to harass him all night. And he did that throughout the year and definitely throughout the playoffs. You think about him as a receiver, he's going to just make life miserable for some defensive backs because he is so physical. Like everything he does, like he's got his hands on you. I mean, bumping you, like and he's quick as lightning. So you're right. Like he allowed Jalen to not have to guard the best player. He kind of, and Jalen can guard the best player, but JT was able to do that. So it allowed Jalen to maybe go off on somebody else. And Jalen has unbelievable instincts. And, he ended his career with over 370 steals. So, that allowed him to maybe do something extra that maybe we couldn't do if JT wasn't guarding the way that he guarded. And I'll tell you this too, phenomenal defensive rebounder as a 6-foot guard. I mean, phenomenal. Like he goes above everybody. So he was a huge piece to what we did. And, 2 senior guards, any coach will tell you, two senior guards, you're going to win a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm. So, Coach, I know you just won. It just sunk in. You're still celebrating. But we got to look towards next year.
Yeah, I already know your question. Trust me, we already thinking about it.
All right. So, but you got a core coming back.
We do.
You got a Marcus Perry Jr. You got a Chris Latson. You got a guy that came out of nowhere for you this year as a young kid in Jermaine Jumbug Caver. Like, talk about going into next year. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You're probably gonna be the favorite going into next season. So how are you starting to look at it already?
Well, we met this morning, and it's the first time we've met without Jalen, JT, and Keelan Moore in the meeting. And I said, trust me, I'm sad, but don't get it wrong. Like, I'm excited because I see what we've got coming back. You got 4 just core guys, and when you add Caleb Wilson to that group you talked about, and Caleb was just a sophomore this year, and he was playing at a new school with a group of guys who had kind of played together. So I think the whole year Caleb was still trying to kind of figure out, okay, I'm going to try to make sure whatever it is I do, I kind of find my way through this, because I don't want to try to do too much. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to burst onto the scene. He already has in some AAU deals last year. But that core group, and then we've got some guys who I think will be great pieces that continue to get better in practice. And, believe it or not, our second group challenged our first group in practice every day. And that first group made that second group better, and that second group made that first group better. So we're excited. Obviously, Marcus Perry he's the best shooter I've ever been around. I mean, he just, like, his feet don't have to be exactly lined up. It doesn't matter. He just snaps that thing off.
Right.
And I know he's going to get so much better in so many areas. Defensively, he was so much better this year. Chris Latson's grown so much. Like, I can't even explain it. Athletic, long. He's shown that he can shoot the 3. I think his biggest thing to work on is his consistency in practice and his ability to drive the ball. And I think he'll be fine at driving the ball. I just think, it's something that he's got to keep working at. And then I agree with you, like Jumbug Caver, he's just, he's different. Like, as a freshman on that team to do the things that he did, he's got a lot of Jalen Taylor in him. So we're looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll take on the challenge. It doesn't matter, because we know the type of work we're going to put in. And it's not like somebody's going to say, hey, you guys are the favorite and you guys haven't done any work, because we're going to take about 2 or 3 weeks off, and then we're going to try to get right back at it. So we're excited, no doubt.
Yeah, and I purposely didn't mention Caleb Wilson and I'm glad you brought him up, because you could tell at times, he was a new guy. And then he was playing behind a guy like Jalen Alexander, who was, like you say, the Mr. Basketball of the state. So he probably tried to find his way a little bit. And at times, and then once you put him in that starting lineup, he just thrived. He really thrived. And I'm excited to see what you're going to do with him next year. But, Coach, before we let you go, man, I do got to ask you this question. You had a major embrace with Coach Davidson after the game, right? It's an icon. I think this picture is going to be iconic one day when we look back on this championship with you guys embracing on the court. Just kind of talk about what he's meant to you as a coach and to that program and that town of Oxford.
Yeah, he's kind of like a father figure, no doubt. He spent 50 years, him and his wife, serving the community and the school. 26 years as the head basketball coach. And Coach Davidson, I know 2 times, but there could have been more, but I know definitely 2 times he was in the regional finals and got beat by great teams. Woodlawn was one of them with Tony Vassar. Mm-hmm. And then the other one I think was Phillips or Ra Scott's team, maybe. So, like, he lost to somebody that, like, you get it. But I could never do what I do as the head basketball coach without him as my athletic director. I just couldn't. Like, he makes everything work for me. He's always there. He's at every game. His wife's at every game. My wife and Connie are best of friends. And it's just one of those deals where when we were able to get over the hump, it's something that we had talked about for a long time. But when we were able to get over the hump, I just wanted him to know that, he's a part of, he's as big a part of it as we are, and any person who gives that many years to a place deserves all those moments, and this is my 16th year, and whether I thought I deserved whatever, I hadn't got those moments yet. And I know that he coached for 26 years and never got that moment, and I wanted him to have that moment with us because I knew he deserved it. So it's a great picture. I've seen it. Somebody sent it to me. But you're right, it says everything, number one, about our relationship, but number two, it says everything about how much he means to our program.
That's so awesome, man.
Right.
Lance, you got one more?
So, Coach, you may not know this about iBall Radio, but basketball is our number one passion. Food is our second passion.
Okay.
And so what was on the plate for the celebration dinner?
So came home, and we went right to the school, and they had pizza. And I asked our guys on the way home, I said, guys, I'll get y'all whatever y'all want. Because, the game was at 2:15. It's supposed to be at 2:15. It didn't start till like 2:45, whatever. And we had ate at like 10:30 to get on the bus to drive over. So I knew they were hungry. First thing they mentioned, Zaxby's. I said, you got it. So, but yeah, they're a great group, like we'll go to, let's say we're in Huntsville. Huge place that we love to go to is Super Chicks. They hit that up all the time. The other day on the semifinal day, when we won, we went to Muyas and got a burger. They're simple. The night before we played in the semifinals, we went to Jefferson's here in Oxford and got some wings, and they had a good time. So they're not high maintenance at all, but they do like they like good food.
I was going to say, Coach, they saved your pockets with that Zaxby's.
Yeah, they did.
No doubt. And I told them, I said, guys, I'll get something delivered. I don't care. You just tell me what you want. And JT was the first one, Zaxby's. I said, okay, you got it.
Hey, listen, they still teenagers, man. They still
That's
teenagers.
Right. That's right.
Well, Coach, man,
5 years from now, it'll be steaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
right.
Exactly. You're going to be taking them to Perry's.
Perry's, sure. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Well, Coach, man, we want to say congratulations, man. Job well done. Much deserved. We were there all year covering you guys. It was a joy to cover you guys. It was a joy to watch. And like you say, congratulations. We can't, us, we already turning the page to next year too, man. So we can't wait to see what you guys do.
Yeah, and let me tell you guys, us high school coaches appreciate you guys so much because, like, you all make our game better. Like, you all get our kids' names out there, and us coaches, we can't do that. We coach our teams. We go to places. You guys are there. You guys get their name out on the internet and through social media, and you guys help create, the Jalen Alexanders of the world through your all's coverage. And I know I'm speaking for a lot of coaches, but we appreciate you guys so much and everything that you do, and y'all just keep doing it, man, because guys really, really do appreciate it, and I know kids appreciate it.
No doubt about it, Coach. That means a lot. We appreciate that, man, and we'll definitely be in touch, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, and enjoy that blue map for sure. And when you get those rings, y'all got to send us some pictures and let us see them.
We'll do it, man. I appreciate you guys for having me.
No doubt, man. There he is, man. Coach Joel Van Meter, right here on iBallRadio.com. Coach, we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
All right. Man, how awesome was that, fellas?
Hey, man. Congrats.
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
Man, it's so interesting to hear the things that we don't know, right?
Right.
Like
The simple things.
the simple things. Coach, like, hey man, we'll take y'all anywhere y'all want to go to eat. Zaxby's.
I want to go to Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
Yeah.
I'm going Perry's. You know
Right.
what I mean? Come on, bro. Like, that's so awesome, man. And just to hear him talk about his players, talk about Jalen Alexander, you know what I mean? To talk about his what he has coming up in a Caleb Wilson and a Marcus Perry and a Chris Lashin and a
And that
June
June
Bug
bug.
and he didn't mention it, but a Cooper Romano, all of these guys, and he has his own son on the team that's going to see more action next year, right? And that was one of the questions I was going to ask him was, how was this, winning it with your son, right? But we'll get a chance to talk to him about that, man. Lance, kind of give me your thoughts on that
One thing
conversation.
that I loved hearing is, coaches that continue to grow and learn about who they are as a person, right?
Oh yeah.
And he was like, before, no matter why you're late, you're sitting out the first half or whatever his punishment might be. But he was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's find out why he was late. Was it his ride? What happened? So just seeing that he's still maturing and growing as a coach, hey, that's that type of person you want leading the ship.
No doubt about it, man. Because like you say, you're dealing with kids that have different circumstances, right? Everybody's not on the same playing field. Everybody doesn't have the same amount of amenities as everybody else. They may be dependent on somebody else because, like you say, you got a Junebug Caver who's not even old enough to drive. So he might be late because he's waiting on somebody to bring him. And just to hear him say how he's matured, how he learned from his team. And I think those are the best coaches, man. The best coaches are the ones who can not only be a leader of young men, they can also learn from those young men and implement that into their everyday lives. And that was just awesome to hear.
And I saw, even though I didn't know that previous to this conversation, right? But if you watched his game, watch how he coached the team, he would make adjustments throughout the game as the game was going on. So you saw him just doing that on and off the court, it seemed.
Right, man. Cool guy, man. That was interesting and fun conversation with Coach Van Meter, man. It was
Good stuff.
Good stuff, man. Like, there's nothing else to really say but good stuff.
Right.
But we ain't done yet, man. In about 5 minutes, we got another first-time state championship head coach coming on with us. And I know this conversation is going to be extremely interesting because he took over for a legend.
A legend.
Right? Yeah. I mean, arguably the GOAT of high school basketball coaching in the state of Alabama. Right. He took over for him and to have the same last name, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's crazy.
In Miller, like, they different ethnicities, but they look the same on that sideline, right?
That's fake.
Now Demetrius was a little bit more buttoned up than Tim, right? Tim would be on that thing kind of relaxed. Demetrius in that thing with the suit on, looking very presidential, right? But to get the same result that he got coming into this, man, I can't wait to have that conversation with him.
So go back for just 1 second about Oxford. With the reclassifications and everything, will they be 6A again next year, or will they drop down to 5A?
Nah, they're 6A.
Okay. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, they're 6A. Gaston City, 6A. Huntsville High. I think Gaston City and Huntsville High in the same region or same area, whatever district, whatever the hell we call it. So on that note, I heard yesterday, just having some conversation with some high school coaches, that I think they're gonna still be some changes coming. I don't think that what we have now is what it's gonna be, because someone told me yesterday that it's a possibility that they can go to district play. I don't even know what the hell that means.
So that's what Tennessee and Georgia does,
right?
And that's a little bit different animal. But the way the areas are drawn up right now, I could be wrong, but I think Spain Park and Oxford are kind of in that same little area there, in that 6A area.
Yeah, I think they are. I think it is.
I think so.
I think it is Spain Park and Oxford, and I think it's Gaston City and Huntsville High with Sparkman and all of them. Like, it's, bro, like the public school basketball is going to be freaking awesome next year.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
Gonna be different.
It's gonna be uber competitive, bro. Like it's gonna be uber competitive. But as we sit here, he said, I just got in the chat. Oxford is dropping the 5A.
5A.
Okay, they are dropping. Yeah.
Ooh, dude.
Wow, that's gonna be a.
What 5A and 6A gonna be so tough next year, bro? Like, oh my god. Like,
wow.
So they need to bring us in and they need to let us help them with the playoff structure because I think this is prime time for them to be able.
Seeding.
Yes, man. Let's reseed. Let's change the format. If we're changing, let's not just change a little. Let's go ahead and revamp this thing.
Right. Let's hit the gas on it.
Let's throw in the shot clock and let's revamp this thing, man. And if we're going to roll like this for 2 years, let's just do it for 2 years. And if y'all don't like it, change it.
See what works, see what don't.
Right. If it don't work, don't, because I don't know. I don't want to get too deep in that because we're about a minute away from having Coach Demetrius Miller come on and join us and talk about the Hazel Green girls who won 7 consecutive championships up until last year. They lost and then come back with a brand new first-year head coach and hoist the blue map again. What an accomplishment, man.
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah, so Breezy, whenever Coach Miller gets in, man, let us know.
Oh, he already here.
All right, well, with no further ado, then we got Coach Demetrius Miller of the Hazel Green girls basketball program. We want to say congratulations and welcome him in. Live hand clap for our guy, Coach Miller, man. Coach, starting off, man, congratulations on winning that state championship. Just tell us, man, how does it feel now that you had a couple of days to let it sink in? Tell us how it feels.
As I've always said, God is good. I'm extremely blessed, to even have been a part of the previous, runs as well. And then now to hoist that map this time as a first year head coach. I'm just so excited, not just for me, but our coaching staff and our young ladies who've worked so tremendously hard, dating back to last summer, last spring. So I'm just happy for them.
No doubt, man. Well, we had the privilege of having you for Media Day at the beginning of the year, right? Mm-hmm. Where you sat down and a lot of people had a lot of questions, right? I think you've been at the school as an assistant for 12 years?
I've been there the whole entire run. I was actually there a year prior to Tim coming under the previous head coach, but I've been there the whole entire run.
Yeah, so when we were able to talk, man, a lot of people had a lot of questions. They were skeptical, right? You guys had lost a lot over the years, right? They were like, oh, has the Hazel Green mystique, has the Hazel Green dominance ended? And a lot of people had questions. And you acknowledged that. You were good with that. Just take us back to October and tell us the journey that you had with this team up until this point.
Well, obviously, we had 5 seniors, led by those 5 seniors. And as I've said throughout the year, I told those seniors, I said, you lead, we follow. Out of those seniors there, they got a taste of it last year, coming up short. But, we have, only a couple players, though, that had experienced having that ring there. Kristen Johnson was on previous state championship teams, and Zamaya Garth has a previous ring, and Denila Butterfield has a previous ring. But all the other ones, they hadn't gotten one up until yesterday, or up until Saturday. So as I told them, I said, hey, for the ones that already have one, we want to get you another one. For the ones that have not yet had that experience, we want to get you that ring so you can experience that feeling. So that's just going back to October, getting in the weight room, committed to strength and conditioning. As you saw there throughout the year, a lot of games we only played 6 players, and some games maybe 7. Mm-hmm. So conditioning was very important. Not only that, just preparing those seniors for the next level. We've got 2 going to go play Division I basketball. We've got 2 going to play JUCO ball. We have 1 right now who has several offers and she's undecided. So all 5 are going to play on the next level. So us, as far as the coaching staff, want to make sure that they're ready, not just, necessarily mentally and skill wise, but also physically.
So, man, you personally, Coach, we get it. You're a leader of young women, and you're the leader of a program. You're the leader of a community. So you have to put that first. But we saw you, Coach. We saw that emotion when you were getting ready to receive that trophy. Just talk about what it means to you personally to accomplish this feat.
I mean, I have to admit, it does feel like a huge weight, lifted off the shoulders. I mean, I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said otherwise. It is a bit of a relief. I have to say that, but even media on Saturday when we had spoken, it's different when you're the guy, or you're the one going to receive that actual blue map to bring back to your team. I've sat there those other 7 years, and Tim was the one to go get that blue map and bring it back, which was great feeling also. But it's different when you're the one to go get it after that long season, because it's a grind. It is a grind. It is a grind, and I have to applaud our whole entire program for just embracing that grind. But it's different. It's a good different feel when you're the one to go get it yourself.
Hey, Coach had the Birdman hands. He had the Birdman hands, baby. So, man, it was a great moment to see, man. But talk about how was it though, learning from a legend like Tim Miller?
Obviously, he's one of the best to ever do it, and I have to say that on the girls or boys side. A lot of people don't know that he used to coach boys basketball too.
Yep.
So I remember him coaching boys basketball when I was playing in high school. So, but he's a legend within himself. Just learning, from him has been, just wonderful. Like I said, we still talk to this day. We spoke today. We spoke the morning of the championship game, and unfortunately he couldn't be there. He had a prior engagement, but he was one of the first to call after the game. So learning from him, as far as, preparation, defense, offense, just the whole everything, just learning from him. And, I've been under other head coaches as well. I've learned something from each and every one of them, but obviously been with him the longest. So just learning from him, as far as, like I said, preparation. When it gets to the playoffs, you're still prepping, but it's a little bit more in that prep work for the playoffs, when that atmosphere is a little different than a regular home or away game, or, just little details, paying attention to those little details, because those little things make a big difference.
Yeah. So, you had a couple of days to let it set in, and now that you're going into your second year as a head coach, what they always say, because you got a different pressure, Coach. You got a different pressure than, I'm going to say, we just had on Coach Joe Van Meter, who Oxford just won their first ever state championship, right? I think you got a different pressure from him, because Tim Miller won 7 in a row. Now that you won one, people are going to expect you to win 7 in a row. Just talk about how you're going to approach going forward.
It's no different than the regular season. One game at a time, one day at a time, just one at a time. People always, they go back to the Decatur game in the regionals and say, well, Coach, did y'all, was Decatur better than what you thought they were? Did you overlook them? We look over no one. Everybody on our schedule, we respect every last one of them and their coaches. So the main thing was to take it one day at a time, one game at a time. So as far as prep work for next season, which I'm sitting here now today, already working on scheduling for the summer, already working on scheduling for next year, already working on showcases for next year. And people have to understand, on our bench, we had 6 young ladies on that bench. We have 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, a junior, and we have an 8th grader on that bench.
Wow.
So for them to be able to go through this playoff run and experience what they experienced, trying our best to get them prepared for what's next. But Only thing to do that is just go back to work and take it one day at a time.
Lance?
Coach, huge congratulations. Enjoyed
Thank you.
hearing what you had to say at Media Day at Alabama A&M and now seeing where you're at. So huge congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Writing your own legacy now starts, right? You're now the head guy. You get to write the story you want, the way you want it to be. If you're one takeaway, your first chapter of your book, what's that title and what does it talk about?
Oh, hard work pays off. Patience is a virtue. I mean, this is 20 years coaching and now first year as a head coach, patience. Patience is a virtue. Just, waiting your turn, waiting your time. I think we have, you look at today's landscape of basketball, with transfer portal and things of that nature, and you're not playing immediately, you're moving on to somewhere else, or you're not happy, you're immediately going somewhere else. And the lack of patience is really kind of missing. People are, they're not learning how to productively struggle and learning how to embrace the grind, knowing that, hey, always compete. I have this person next to me here. Well, hey, I'm going to compete. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. I'm going to be where my feet are, and I'm going to embrace this grind, and I'm going to fight it out. I'm going to tough it out. So, just that mindset, it's just that mindset there.
So I love that line, progressively struggle. As you took over and you were thinking about all the things that you had to do to get to Saturday. What was that like, as you called it, the maybe not this year, but the progressive struggle? What does that look like from the beginning of the season, all season workout, June play dates to Saturday?
Well, I mean, like I said, we had to give kudos, like I said, to our young ladies over and over again. I mean, we knew what we had. I mean, we knew we had, a good group of girls returning. We lost 3 young ladies who were great part of our program, in 2025. And we knew we had a great group coming back. It was just a matter of, we knew as a coaching staff we had the pieces. It's just a matter of putting the pieces in the right place at the right time. Going back to the summer, skill development first and foremost in the spring. We always try to have the kids, as far as player development, add something to your package or your game that you didn't have the previous year. We often ask ourselves when we get ready to scout other teams, well, how would other teams scout us? And so you need to add something to your game that you didn't have the previous year to add to your player development. And then we go through the summer as far as putting you in places, where you can be successful, and so you can flourish. That, helps the team and, obviously helps you as well. And then now as we get into the preseason, obviously we have a robust preseason, workout program that we implemented this year from, one of our strength and conditioning, coaches, Brandon Horton from Huntsville Sports Max. And, it's one thing we were dedicated to this year that I know when I came in, talking to the coach staff, I said, we need to get back to lifting. And one thing we did this year that we have not done in previous years, we lifted the entire season, because when they go to college, that's what they're going to do. And so we continue to lift throughout the whole entire season, continue to, maintain what they gain. And then as the season got there, then, all right, now let's start implementing, things that we did well during the summer, and then start tweaking some things to put in, like I said, put kids in the best possible situations where they can flourish.
Well, Coach, just watching you guys play, right? You played a different style, right? You saw the remnants of the previous coach, but you could tell you really put your stamp on the program. Was that really your focus? Was to, hey, because a lot of coaches that get in your situation, they might want to try to reinvent the wheel, right? But it's like you.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Right. It's just basketball. Like you say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Was that your mindset coming into your first year as head coach?
Coming in, I mean, we knew a particular, type of style that we wanted to play. We felt like we had a great group of guards, and obviously when you add, Big Madison in the middle, along with our great group of guards, we knew this, hey, we can play fast. We can play fast. You know, obviously defense is the culture of our program. Has always been the foundation of our program. So we're going to have to defend. You're going to have to defend your behind off in order to get out there on that floor.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to play fast. However, there are some games where we just couldn't play fast. I mean, you have to learn how to play multiple ways. You know, the game of basketball, you got to play multiple ways. Some games it's just not going to be fast. Some games, you know, you got to slow it down. Either way it goes, you still have to execute defensively and offensively. And for us, it's always execute on the defensive end of the floor first, you know, because, you know, defense a lot of times leads to, you know, offense, especially when shots aren't falling and things of that nature. So, but defense has always been the culture of the program. Team can't score, team can't win. So defense has always been the foundation of our program, and it will continue to be the foundation of our program because, like I said, sometimes shots are just not going to fall, but you can always pride yourself on playing good, solid defense. I mean, I think our team showed that through the playoff run as far as the number of points on average that we gave up through that run and just through the season. I think we only gave up, an average of 35 to 37 points for the season.
Wow.
So, you know, somewhere along the lines, I do know it was sub 40, but, you know, defense that's our pride and joy.
So you mentioned Madison, and of course, she's the biggest thing on the court, right? It was hard to miss her, right? And she was so dominant for your program. But kind of talk about Kristen Johnson and Salone Williams. Talk about what they meant to your program, because throughout the year, Kristen did it a lot on the offensive end. Salone did it a lot on the defensive end. Just talk about how they led your program throughout the year along with Madison.
I mean, I could go from top to bottom for all of our seniors. You know, you look at Madison, big one, you know, big post player in the middle. I mean, she's going to block shots. She's going to rebound. And then she also, you know, I think she has a pretty good low post package, not to mention adding to her game, knocking down the three ball. She was wonderful. You know, Sloan defense, the type of energy that Sloan was able to provide defensively, you know, the things that she was able to do and bring that energy defensively for her. I can go to Zamaya Garth, who was a lockdown defender. If you look at the Mortimer Jordan game, you know, Mortimer Jordan was a very, very good team. And, you know, playing Bob Jones and other teams where Zamaya Garth was guarding one of the better offensive players and playing lockdown defense. You know, and then we get to Journey Moore, who's just rock solid, you know, with the basketball, you know, leading in assists, finding the open person. And then her being a lockdown defender as well and adding the three ball to her game. And then we get to Kristen Johnson. You know, she's obviously was a leader and the captain of our team. When we talk about all five of our seniors, she was up for 6A Player of the Year this year. You know, I would envision that, you know, her and Madison both should be up for 6A Player of the Year, both of them, to be quite honest. And in her leadership, you know, what she can do offensively and her IQ level is so high. And then I think a lot of people disregard her defense as well. So all five of those seniors, I think people disregard a lot of their defense, but all five of those seniors, you know, their defense as well. And then you look at it on the bench, Denala Butterfield, who tore ACL last year.
Right.
She didn't play most of the season last year, and for her to be able to come back and do what she did this year has been huge. And then you look at Chanel Riley, who was a freshman, who didn't even play basketball to pick up basketball until 7th or 8th grade. And she's playing varsity basketball as a 9th grader. You know, to see her, you know, progress and add to her game. And then now you got the other younger ones that's seeing all of that. And they say, hey, you know, we can work. Let's get to work so we can get better too and be able to, you know, contribute next year.
Right. And it was a joy to watch them because it was a moment during that championship game where Journey had passed up 1 or 2 shots, right? She was open. And, you know, she tended to do that throughout the year. She might not take an open shot because, like you say, she was your distributor, right? She did get everybody else involved. But she passed up 1 or 2 shots, and you saw Salone come over to her, and she said to her, she was like, you got to shoot that, right? You got to shoot that. And it was a dynamic that happened in the game. And then the very next play, she knocked down the 3 ball, right? She hit a big, huge 3 for you. Just talk about how together they were to be able to not only critique each other, right, but also be able to be a lift for one another?
Early on this summer, when we started playing our play dates this past summer, we played, 7 or 8 different play dates. And, I kept telling the girls, I said, I trust you. I trust you. And as the coaching staff, was established toward, the August, September preseason workouts, we trust you. We trust you. So that became an envelope of what we tried to, relay to them. We trust you. We trust you. Even in practice, and we're scrimmaging in practice when the season started, and we're going against our practice squad, and either they're open and they're not taking that shot, and I'm making them run, or I'm taking them out, or they're taking put. I said, you have to take that shot. It's going to come a time and come a point when you're going to be open, and you have to keep the defense honest. I said, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust the fact that you put in the work, you put in all the shots. Trust yourself. We trust you. Now we need you to trust yourself and trust each other. And I think that's what it basically boiled down to. Just trusting each other, knowing that, hey, that team chemistry's got to be there, and they love each other. So trust yourself, because we trust you.
That's so awesome, man. That's so awesome. Lance?
So last question for you, Coach. Being the only school there in Hazel Green, Alabama, and coming back in the community supporting you, what does that feel like, coming back, and maybe young female athletes that look up to these girls now and they show up and to celebrate you guys? What does that feel like when your community shows that much love to you?
I mean, I'm just so blessed. I mean, the amount of, text messages or phone calls or emails that me personally I've received from former players, former students of mine, or just former parents of students that I've either taught or coached. And that's on the boys and girls side that I've coached. And to come back to a community that, has embraced these young ladies, and not just this year, the community has embraced them since day one. That first run, that we made back when we were 7A. And it was 2015 and 2016. We were 7A making the runs. In 2017, we were state runner-up before the whole thing started in 2018. I mean, the community has been so supportive. I mean, going back to 95 when Coach Clay Giles was the head coach of that particular program, I worked with him. We both teach math before he retired. And I saw him, matter of fact, last week, and just him just saying, hey, best wishes, good luck, coach. Talking to Tim, all the time, whether it's basketball or not basketball, good luck, coach. We're behind you. The community, we're behind you. It's a beautiful feeling that, behind our program, behind our girls, support goes a long way. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate everybody in that Hazel Green, Meridianville area, and then our administration. I just can't say enough about our administration, Dr. Head and his assistant principals, our athletic director, our SRO. I can't, teach. I just can't say enough. Our administration is second to none, as well as our teachers and faculty and staff. It was so many of them at the game Saturday, to look up in those stands and to see them. And it's just a beautiful feeling, just so blessed. And our girls we're just so thankful and blessed.
So, Coach, I know we're gonna let you get out of here, but I gotta ask this because I know you said earlier you're already looking towards you. You're already setting that schedule up. You're already getting ready for the summertime, right? And so how are you going into year 2? How are you going to put it into works? Not only the basketball part of it, but your part of it with the community, with the school, with the administration. How are you gonna take that pressure of 7 in a row, all those championships, all those banners hanging up in that gym?
Well, I mean, we always playing with the end goal in mind. No matter how we get there, we just want to get there. So we always playing with the end goal in mind. Like I said, the only thing I know how to do is just to work. So all I know how to do is work. I saw a couple of my coworkers as I was leaving the school this afternoon when you get reached out, and they said, you get to go home. You get to go home early tonight, coach. I said, no, I still got work to do.
Wow.
You know, I saw this morning and said, "Hey, coach, you win the state championship, coach. You just roll in here, huh?" This morning, I said, "Well, you know, I'm always here." So we know, coach. But you know, it's a collective thing. I can't take full credit and say I coach the staff, and I have to, you know, give kudos to them. And like I say, our girls work so hard. So the only thing I know how to do is just to work.
Right.
That's all. I mean, just got to work. Hard work pays off.
Now I gotta say, Coach, you were looking very dapper and very presidential in the gray suit with the red tie, right? You were looking very presidential. So
Thank you.
like, I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna have to I expect to see you back in Birmingham next year. The fit gonna have to be clean, Coach. The fit gonna have to be clean, no doubt about it, man. But
thank you. We try. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But Coach, man, we're gonna let you get out of here, man. We'll thank you for coming on with us tonight, man. We appreciate you. And again, huge congratulations on bringing that championship back to Hazel Grade in your first year, man. And we're very impressed here at iBall Radio, man. And we're very proud of you. Getting to meet you back in October. We saw the passion in you, and to see you at this moment to accomplish that goal, we just want to say congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you all. Thank y'all so much.
No doubt about it. There he is, man. Coach Demetrius Miller, Hazel Green High School, man. 6A state
job, Coach.
champion, man. Congratulations,
Thank y'all.
Coach. Indeed. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
You too, no doubt about it. There he is, man. Hey, bro, I gotta say, dog, like, I can't imagine what that feeling feels like, bro. Right? To be a first-year head coach taking over for a legend at a school that got banners all throughout the gym for girls basketball, to take over that program and to bring it home in year one. I can only imagine what that feels like.
Yeah, you
His
can't.
mindset tells you everything.
Yes.
His mindset is, I just show up every day and work.
That's it.
Hey.
Hard work gonna pay off.
Hard work gonna pay off.
As kids say nowadays, period.
Period. You know what I'm saying? No cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I gotta do my young folks thing, man.
You gotta speak to the generation.
Gotta speak to the generation. Alabama Truth 2029, what's good? Alabama Truth gonna be one of the top 2029 teams in the state of Alabama for AAU. Mark my words. They got the #1 player in the class of 2029 in Braylon Alexander, and they got a lot to go around him, man. Coach, I need some Alabama Truth gear. Shoot us the Alabama Truth gear, and you know we're gonna rock it for sure. No doubt about it. But man, what a show, man. Having Coach Joe Van Meter. We had tonight was 6A night. Don't be surprised if we pop up on here tomorrow, man, because we're gonna try to get every coach. We're gonna try to get all 14 coaches to come on to the show this week, man, and sit down and chop it up with us. Hopefully we're able to make that happen, man. But I know we got Coach Jeremy Arendt, Montgomery Academy, back-to-back state champs in Class 3A on the line. We got Coach Barton from St. James on the line, ready to go. We're gonna get Coach Williams from Wintersboro. We're gonna get Coach Parks from Brantley. So just be on the lookout, man. Stay locked in with iBall Radio, man. We got a lot coming up. This week is state championship week for the show, man. So we gonna pop up on y'all, man. So just tell a friend when iBall Radio goes live. Lance, last words.
Yeah, just thanks to all you guys who continually tune in and support what we do. We couldn't do it without you. Continue to like, subscribe, and share everything we do. That's how we help these young men and women in the game of basketball here in the state of Alabama. That's what we love to do, and we talk about food too. But
yeah, we talk about a little food too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Big Bob.
Listen, before you go, Breezy, I gotta say this. Sunday. And Lance, I got to get with you on this tomorrow, maybe tonight. Sunday, March 15th, Pelham Rec Center. We will be doing an event, an unsigned seniors combine. We'll go down this Sunday, March 15th. If you are a senior of class of 2026 and you want to play basketball on the next level and you have yet to sign a college scholarship, this opportunity is for you. We have linked up with Positionless Basketball Academy, PBA, to do an unsigned seniors team that will be running on the Puma Next Pro circuit in April and May. It's 4 events that will be running. One of them will be a live event. Go to the, either the PBA page or the iBall Radio page. Look for the flyer. I'm gonna repost it. Breezy's gonna post it on iBall_Breezy. Lance is gonna put it on Lance.Gilbert. And listen, go check it out. If you're an unsigned senior out there and you still have aspirations to play on the next level, we are providing an opportunity for you to do so. So make sure you tap in and get on it, because if you want to play on the next level, and you still hadn't had a chance to sign, and you might not have no motion, this could bring you some motion. No guarantee, but it's
There you
all
go.
it's an opportunity. And in this game that we play, that's all you can ask for.
I tried to find it earlier, but it was a lot of stuff on there.
That's all good. But there it is, man. Right there. Holler at Positionless Basketball Academy. You can holler at me, you can holler at Breeze, you can holler at Lance. Hit them up. Hit them up, man. And if you're out there and you still want to play, hit the DM, hit PBA DM, hit the email, do whatever you got to do. Show up this Sunday, Pelham Rec Center.
This is just for boys, right?
Yeah, boys only, 3 p.m. Be there. Be there. Now, here's the thing. Don't hit me up and say, hey, coach, can you help me get something? I'm looking for opportunity. Here it is.
I'm
Hey, what's
helping
the
you right
dude that
now.
went viral? There it is, man. Go check
That's
it
it.
out. Be there on Sunday. With that being said, Breezy, last words?
Man, I just, it's been a heck of a season. I just want to thank, God and just our supporters and our team and everybody around us. It's been amazing. So
Been amazing, man. The support that we've gotten from y'all, man. Like I say, 1.3 million in 30 days.
yeah, I got
Over a
200.
milli.
Yeah, I got 200 this week.
Come on, man. Look, hey, listen. I got it. Uh-oh. I'm sorry about that. I got my phone set up crazy, so y'all excuse me. But y'all see this. That's the one for the milli. And we got balloons. I did want to set them up because we on a family show. With this set up like this, it looked paused. It looked kind of funny. So I ain't put it. It looked
Good
kind of
job.
funny with the 2 circle balloons in the one, if you get what I'm saying. So I didn't put it in my background because I didn't want y'all talking about me, right? Pause. But I appreciate y'all, man. But 1.3 million in the last 30 days. Hey, listen, I know we talked about it a lot. Road to a million. Now that we hit it, we asking y'all, man, get us to 2. Let's get to 10, right? Let's get to
Let's get
10
to
million.
10. Let's get to 10.
Let's go all the way up with this thing, man. But I do gotta say this. We got some really, really special things in the works right now. Y'all know iBall Radio stay working. Y'all know we stay working. Y'all know we stay ahead of the curve, right? Bro, we got some stuff on the way that we got some meetings coming up. And once we get it, boy, I'm just going to tell y'all, watch the hook.
The haters
Watch
gonna
the
hate.
hook. Haters gonna hate, baby. Hey, but listen, you're gonna have to hate because you're gonna be
You're gonna
like,
have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to hate.
like, listen, if it was me watching you and y'all were doing what we doing, I hate you too.
Yeah, I don't like y'all.
I don't like y'all. Y'all do too good of work for me to like you, right?
Right.
But no, I'm just kidding, man. But
Yeah, for sure.
in all seriousness, man, we got a lot of stuff in the work, man. I had the privilege of calling the 1A Girls and Boys State Championship. Thank you to everybody who reached out to me and sang the praises, said how much they enjoyed it. We means everything to me, man. I greatly appreciate it. For all that tuned in to our iBall Radio Games of the Week throughout this basketball season. The first of its kind. It's never been done. Everything that we do just started from an idea, y'all. Right? It started from an idea that turned into a conversation, And like I love to say this, and Lance and Breezy can tell you, we'll have a conversation, and next thing I'm gonna say, man, put legs on it. Let's put some legs on it, baby.
Let's go to
And
work.
everything we do, we put legs on it. We go to work, and it is culminating into what you see right now, man. But none of that would be possible without y'all. Without y'all, all 1.3 million of y'all. We thank y'all, man. We appreciate it. With that being said, Lance, holler at these folks, man.
Hey,
I
y'all
gotta
keep
hit
grinding. Y'all keep grinding.
Oh, I'm sorry, Breezy. Run the music, man. There you have it, man. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us right here on the iBall Radio Live call-in show right here on iBallRadio.com, the iBall Radio YouTube page, and streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. Go fill out your iBall Radio player card. Go get your iBallRadio.com subscription, because this is the season of recruiting. If you want the information, we got it for you. Make sure you tap into our platforms. Get your iBall Radio subscription. Now, Lance, say something to these people.
Hey, y'all keep working hard. Lance from Huntsville.
There it is. Breezy, holler at these folks, man.
Hey, say, man, it's your boy Breezy, and it ain't easy.
It ain't easy, man, and y'all already know. They call me coach because I teach you how to ball. Until, no, we might be right back on y'all. We'll holler at y'all, man. We up out here. Peace. Long live Hero.
For sure.